Yes, ma'am.
Malakas na ba yung sound? Hindi pa din. Malakasan ko pa ba? O okay na?
Oo, parang okay naman, ma'am. Okay naman po.
Okay. So, sorry po if you cannot miss today's meeting kasi baka kulangin tayo ng oras dahil sa susunod na Sabado ay research day, no? That is why you have to cover what is expected to be covered today. So for today, we will go to the discussion of bakit ba red? Depreciation. So depreciation is defined as a decrease in value of a physical property with the passage of time. There are several ways by which we may compute depreciation as an expense. Depending on the book you may be reading with, marami po kasing method that I'll discuss only the basic ones. The depreciation is taken as an expense, and this is expected to be covered in any engineering courses because of its importance in making analysis of a project and analysis of multiple projects. Now, previously, engineering economics is considered as a subject, or the description is taken as engineering economics and accounting. Perhaps it is because there are courses who would not cover accounting principles. But in the field of IE, we do have two, I think, accounting subjects, financial accounting and, if I'm not mistaken, managerial accounting. No? So kung nasa IE, kung ang core discipline mo ay IE, na-cover na yung accounting principles. But for all other engineering courses, hindi kasi nako-cover yun. That is why previously it is named as engineering economics and accounting. Ngayon wala na po yung accounting, siguro dahil they get to realize that hindi siya pwede i-compress sa isang semester. Actually, the discussion of engineering economics alone, if you read the book of Twesen, states that for you to cover engineering economics in its entirety, dapat meron kang 3 semesters. But since we are given only 1 semester for this, we normally would simply consider what is contained in the yung ginagamit, CMO, the CHED Memorandum Circular coming from, I think, the technical panel for engineering education. Kaya po, limited lang siya. Ang depreciation, since this is considered as an expense, importante pong maintindihan siya so that students may know, magkano lang ba, halimbawa, bumili ka ng isang automobile para sa operation ng business. And let us take hypothetical example. Supposing you buy an automobile for operations and the cost of automobile is 1 million. It is normal for any student to ask, are we supposed to cover all or the whole of 1 million and reflect it as an expense for a specific year? And definitely the answer is no. Why? Because we do expect to make use of any automobile for more than 1 year. Now, where the expected life expectancy of a product is only 1 year, then that is the only time we would be reflecting the full amount in the book of accounts. So halimbawa po, let us have, in accounting principles, we would have gross sales. So we would have X, kung alang X yan. Then we would have less. So marami po, no? Isa po dyan, depreciation. So naka-reflect po yan, naka-reflect sila lahat. Then yung total niya would be deducted. So you would have now net before taxes. Tapos taxes at parang sa anybody who is making a lot. Pinakamataas ata is 32%. Di ako sure. accounting, mga 32% yan. So yung what is net, then you deduct the tax. So you would have net after taxes. So one may be able to see from the illustration that if we would not be considering depreciation as an expense, then we would have more in the net before taxes, and the same would be subjected to a specific tax percentage. So napaka-importante po that we know how to compute for the depreciation expense. But again, ang mai-reflect mo lang dyan would be the depreciation expense for a particular year. Halimbawa, let us take for instance, sinabi ko kanina, 1 million. If you would make use of the straight line method of depreciating the assets, ang straight line would simply make use of the useful life in years of an asset. So ang multiplier lang niya ay 1 divided by L. So parang ganun lang po. So ano po ba yung mga methods? Ano tayo magpo-compute? So again, the basic or the most simple is the straight line. So ang sinasabi rito, depreciation for a particular year is directly proportional to the number of years you would make use of the asset. Tatlo po ang pwede mong i-consider sa pag-compute ng depreciation expense. So usually we would consider magkano ang nawawala sa halaga ng asset kada taon. Magkano na ang kabuuang nawawala sa halaga ng asset hanggang partikular na taon at magkano na lamang ang natitira sa halaga ng asset sa partikular na taon. So tatlo lang po yun. Mamaya puntahan po natin lahat ng formulas. So pangalawa pong method ng pag-depreciate ay tinatawag natin sinking fund. Of the 5 methods I will discuss today, sinking fund is the only method that makes use of the time value of money. In principle, sinking fund allows you to deposit amount that is being lost through depreciation so that at the time of the retirement of the asset, you would have fund for replacement. Kaya po siya sinking fund. And this amount is expected to generate an income at a specific percentage we call the time value of money, no, sa interest rate. We also would consider declining balance. So declining balance makes use of a constant percentage that would serve as the multiplier to the decline balance of the asset so that we may compute the depreciation expense for a particular year. Constant percentage lang po siya. Then we would have the double declining balance. Double declining balance is the only method that would not reflect the defined salvage value of an asset if you would not shift to what we call the double declining shift to a straight line. Ibig sabihin, 4 of the 5 methods would allow you to see the salvage value at the end of the life of the asset. It is only the double decline balance that would not allow you to do that. But when you make use of a modified version, that is, if you make use of the double decline balance, then you shift to a straight line, then you may be able to reflect the salvage value. And we would have the sum of the year's digits. Sum of the year's digits, as the name implies, makes use of the sum of the year's digits taken from the life of the asset, and the reverse digit for each of the year would serve as the multiplier so that we may be able to compute for the depreciation expense of a particular year. Any question po? Actually, meron din akong PowerPoint nito. Pero mas matagal pa kasi kung PowerPoint, diretso na lang. So, let us try to solve. Intindihin lang po, no, kahit hindi na tayo dito mag-worded problem. But should you wish to work on a worded problem, wala naman yung problema. So let us have the given. Supposing we do have an asset where C sub O is, sabihin na lang natin 10,000. The cost of the asset. C subscript O means cost original, which is the purchase cost plus all other costs associated with the purchase. That is, if for instance, the company considered buying an air conditioning unit, the standing one, then the original cost will be the cost of purchase plus the cost of installation plus the freight cost, if any. Meaning, C sub O considers cost, not just the purchase cost, but all other costs associated with the purchase. C sub L is known as the cost at the end of life. Tinatawag po siyang salvage value. Supposing salvage value is 2,000. Where we make use of I, which is the interest rate, or what we call the time value of money, supposing we have 10%. Then we would have the required depreciation schedule. Using straight line, sinking fund, declining balance, double declining balance, and SYD. Baka po makalimutan ko, declining balance is also known as the Matheson method. No? Hindi ko talaga makalimutan yung isang estudyante dyan na civil. Bumalik para sabihin sa akin na, ma'am, pumasa naman ng board exam, hindi mo po tinuro ang Matheson method. Lumabas po sa board exam. Sabi ko, kuya, sinuro ko yun. Ma'am, hindi mo po tinuro kasi ang tinuro mo lang, sabi ko, kasi yung declining balance, yun yung Matheson. Hindi daw niya alam. Kaya hindi niya sinagutan. Mabuti na lang pumasa siya. Bumalik para lang magpasalamat. O, di ba nakakatuwa din kahit civil. Arellano apelido nun. Civil engineer siya. Bumalik pa para sabihin, hindi na ituro ang Matheson. So, ayan po, no? The question is the depreciation schedule. So, para po magawa natin yan, we have to write the formula, symbols, and notations. So, we have so let us start with a straight line. Ang straight line po makes use of small d sub n, that is the depreciation expense for year n. This is given by the formula C sub O minus C sub L over L. The big D sub n in a straight line is total depreciation expense up to time n. So this is D multiplied by n. Then we would have the C sub n. C sub n is called the book value at the end of time n. So this is C sub O minus D sub n. Sulat ko na po ha yung notations where C sub O is cost subscript original. This is cost of purchase plus all other costs associated with the purchase. C sub L is cost subscript end of life, which is also the salvage value. Salvage value is defined as the residual value, which is taken as whatever is left in the value of an asset after it has served its purpose. So kung dinesign siya to live for 10 years, after ng 10 years, halimbawa makina po ito, after 10 years, hindi mo na siya pakikinabangan halimbawa as makina, pero meron pang mga metal na pakikinabangan, so you call that the residual value or the salvage value or whatever that is. A is the time value of money. N is the year in consideration. Anong year yung sinusolve mo? Ano pa ba? So, small b sub n is the depreciation expense at time n. Big D sub n is the total cost of depreciation up to time n. C sub n is the book value at time n. So what is left in the value of asset at time n? Meron pa ba tayong hindi nalagay? C sub O, C sub L, I, and as B, okay. Kasi ano na, 10 minutes na lang. So, if the objective is to draw the depreciation schedule, ito lang po yung gagawin natin. The depreciation schedule. Straight line. So, straight line pa lang po tayo. Wala ata tayo nakadefine na L. Tingnan ko lang kung nakadefine ng L natin. Inilagay ba tayo? Wala. Ilagay natin ng L. 4. So, L here is useful life of asset. So, ito na po. So, we would have here 1, 2, 3, 4. We would have here C sub N, beginning of year. C sub N, or the book value at the beginning of the year, then the book value at the end of the year. This is the small d, and this is the big D. So, in straight line, sabi natin, so, this is 10,000. So, D1 is equivalent to D2, is equivalent to D3, is equivalent to D4. And this is equivalent to C sub O minus C sub L over F. So, this is 10,000 minus 2,000 divided by 4. So, this is 2,000. So, all you have to do is to write 2,000 for year 1, 2,000 for year 2, 2,000 for year 3, and 2,000 for year 4. That is, when we talk of the straight line, the depreciation for each of the year is the same because the factor here would simply be 1 over L, that is 1 out of the 4 years. So if what is expected to be lost in the value of an asset is 8,000, that is 10,000, minus the residual value of 2,000, so that is 8,000, divided by 4, so we have 2,000. That is, the 10,000 value of an asset is expected to lose its value 2,000 per year. So the big D in a straight line would simply be the cumulative depreciation expense. Kahit hindi mo po siya i-compute dyan, pwede mo na ilagay dito 0 plus 2,000 is 2,000, plus 2,000 is 4,000, plus 2,000 is 6,000, plus 2,000 is 8,000. The book value at the end of the year would simply be the C sub O or C sub N at the beginning of year 1 minus the big D of year 1. So 10 minus 2 is 8, 10 minus 4 is 6, 10 minus 6 is 4, and 10 minus 8 is 2. So you see the end value, the C sub N or the book value at the end of the life of the asset, which is 4 years, is 2,000. That is, we have reflected 2,000, which is also the defined salvage value. Any questions so far? Okay, kung wala pong tanong, let us proceed with the depreciation schedule. Naku, 10% na lang daw ang battery. Pagka po naputol, rest muna ng 10%. Isa-charge ko lang yung battery. The depreciation schedule, a sinking fund. So pareho lang po, we would draw the table. So again, this is C sub n, beginning of year, C sub n, end of year, small d, and the big D. This is 10,000. So since this makes use of a sinking fund, ang sinasabi lang po niyan, no? Ang asset, binili mo na halagang 10,000, tapos ine-expect mo siya na mag-lose ng 2,000, ay mag-residual, yan po siya, 4 years. So this is the depreciation expense, which is equivalent to A. So yung formula po kasi ng sinking fund, sa sinking fund, D is C sub O minus C sub L over finding F given A, I percent L. So this is C sub O minus C sub L, 1.1 raised to 4 minus 1 divided by 0.1. Ika, isa-substitute ko na yung value. So this is 10,000 minus 2,000. Pakibigay po ang amount sa akin. Parang annuity po siya. Ibilisan na natin kasi baka mawala. Sayang yung 1.1 raised to 4 minus 1 divided by 0.1. So this is 4.641. 8,000 divided by answer is 1723.77. So this is 1723.77. Ang sinasabi po nito, all you have to do is to save 1,723.77, then guaranteed at the end of the 4th year, you would have that 8,000, which is a value lost in depreciation, and that you would have a fund for replacement. So this is 1723.77, 1723.77, 1723.77, and 1723.77. Now, perhaps you would ask, how then is this possible when 1,723.77 would not be equivalent to 8,000 when you multiply this by 4? It is because when you deposit 1,723.77, the same is expected to generate an interest value which would fill in the gap. Kikita po kasi siya. Kaya po ang pag-compute niya ng DN ay D finding F given A I percent N. So D1 is 1723.77, 1.1 raised to 1 minus 1 divided by 0.1. D2 is 1723.77. This is 1.1 raised to 2 minus 1 divided by 0.1. D3 is 1723.77, 1.1 raised to 3 minus 1 divided by 0.1. And D4 is, ito ko na lang po ilagay sa taas, wala ng space. Kaya pa ba? 1723.77, 1.1 raised to 4 minus 1 divided by 0.1. Ito po ay 8,000 approximately. Pakikuha po ang 2 tsaka 3. Baka kasi mamatay na yung 10 minutes. So this is approximately 8,000. This is 1723.77, 1.1 raised to 2 minus 1 divided by 0.1. 21 divided by 10 times 1723.77, 3619.92. So 3619.92. This is approximately 8,000. So this is
Ba't ganun?
balikan lang natin yung sinking fund. So this is sinking fund. So this is 1723.77. So D1 is 1723.77, 1.1 raised to 1. So this is 1723.77. D2 is 1723.77, 1.1 raised to 2 minus 1 divided by 0.1. So this is 3619.92. D3 is 1723.77, 1.1 raised to 3 minus 1 divided by 0.1. Skipping terms. 0.1 raised to 3. Times 1723.77. 5705.68. Then D4 is 1723.77, 1.1 raised to 4. So this is
8,000.
approximately 8,000 yan. So ilalagay lang po natin yung value. 3619.92, 5705.68, and 8,000. So approximately, this is 2,000. I-subtract lang po from 10,000 yung big T, minus 1723.77, 8276.23, then 10,000 minus 3619.92, 6380. Tama ba? Dali lang. 1.1 raised to 2 minus 1 divided by 1.1. Minus 1723.77. 3619. Tama naman.
Opo, tama po.
Then we have 10,000 minus 5705.68. This is 4294. 32. Yan na po siya. Actually, kung kukumputin niyo po yung big D sub N, ay big dito, bakit ba? Ang dali lang, palitan ko. Hindi po siya small d, kasi small d yung kanina. Big D ito. Dali lang, mali. This is D1, D2, D3, and this is D4. Yan na po siya. Tanong po ba kayo? So makikita niyo po, no? What is left in the value of the asset after 4 years is also 2,000. Now, makikita niyo rin that by simply saving 1,723.77 per year, it is expected that at the end of the 4 years, we would have the total amount of 8,000, which is sufficient to cover what is lost in 4 years in terms of depreciation expense. That is, we save 1,723.77. The investment would earn 10%, which is why at the end of 4 years, we would be able to collect also 8,000 to cover what is lost so that we may be able to buy replacement for that particular asset. So we go to the third procedure. So we have the decline balance. So they call this the Matheson method. So for the decline balance, it makes use of a constant percentage that is used to be the multiplier at the decline balance at the beginning of the year. So CP, I would have it as CP, or the constant percentage, which is equivalent to 1 minus the L root of C sub L over C sub O. So this is 1 minus the 4th root of 2,000 divided by 10,000. So that is 1 minus, so this is 2,000 divided by 10,000. So raised to 0.25, 0.6687. So what is left is 1 minus 0.6687 is 0.3313. So constant multiplier is 0.3313. So we have the depreciation schedule. So declining balance method. So actually this procedure allows you to compute the depreciation schedule by simply getting the constant percentage. Yan na siya, sa table lang siya. May mga formula pero hindi mo na siya kailangan i-memorize kasi table lang ang kailangan mo talaga. So ito po siya, i-plug in mo lang yung constant percentage. Dito siya, CP is 0.3313. So yan lang po ang kailangan mo. Then you proceed 10,000. So this is 10,000 multiplied by the constant percentage, 0.3313. So this is 3313. So 3313, you subtract from 10,000. You would have 10,000 minus 3313 is 6687. Iwanan po muna ang malaking D. So the C sub N of at the end of the year of year 1 is also the C sub N at the beginning of year 2. Bakit ba 6618 sinulat ko?
687.
Ano ba yan? 6687. 6687. So 6687, you multiply by 0.3313, so that is 2215.4. So 2215.4, isusubtract mo lang po siya sa 6687. This is 4471.
4471.
Oh,
50, 60 ma'am.
60 na, oo. So, ililipat mo lang siya dito. Tapos, i-multiply mo po siya ulit sa CP. 0.3313.
1481.
1481.43. Okay. Tapos, isusubtract mo po siya ulit sa 4471.6.
2990.
Oo.
0.16 ma'am. Apo.
2990.16. Imumultiply mo po ulit.
0.3313. 990.64 ma'am.
Oo, 0.64. So, 2990.16 minus, so 199.52.
0.52.
Oh, so approximately 2,000 pa rin siya. Rounding errors lang po kasi yon. Dahil ang ginamit natin ay 4-digit accuracy lang. So yung pong malaking D, dagdagin nyo lang po. So this is 3313. So 3313 plus 2215.4, that is 5528.
2.8.4, ma'am.
0.4. O, i-add po natin ang 1481.44. Yan po ay
7,009.84.
0.84 plus 990.64,
8,000.
8,000.48.
Opo.
So, ito pong dalawa, itong nasa baba, when you combine this, 10,000 po yan.
10,000.
So, alam niyo po na yung nabawas sa halaga ng asset at yung residual value, yun din yung original cost. So, may tanong po kayo.
Wala, ma'am.
Sabi ng iPad, 10% na ang battery. Kaya yan kasi ano na lang naman dalawa. So, punta na po tayo sa susunod bago pa maubos yung battery. Ay, naku, nakalimutan i-charge kanina kasi. Okay, let us go sa number 4. Ito po ang double declining balance. Pareho po ng decline balance. Kukunin lang po dito ay constant percentage. So, ang constant percentage po nito ay 2/L. So, kung mapapansin niyo po, sa formula ng CP, hindi ginamit ang residual value. That is why we cannot expect that the residual value would manifest in the depreciation schedule. No? Wala po siya. Now, should anyone wish to reflect, basahin lang po, nasa libro siya ni Twesen. Kung gusto niyo pong intindihin, because you'll be teaching the same subject to your undergraduate students. And if you would like to really understand how it will work, you may consult the book Engineering Economics by Twesen. So ito po ay 2/4. So this is 0.5. So we write the depreciation schedule. Double declining balance. So year 1, 2, 3, 4. So ito po ay 10,000. So 10,000 times 0.5 is 5,000. So what is left is 5,000. This is 5,000. What is left is 25. So 5,000 minus 25 is 25. So this is 25, 1, 250, 1, 250, 1, 250, 625. So 625. So hindi po siya yung 2,000, no? So this is 5,000, 7,500, 8,750, 975 ba?
Opo.
Ay, ano ba? 8,750, 8,750 plus 625.
9,375.
9,375.
9,375.
Yan na po siya. So walang kahirap-hirap. Pero kung isi-shift nyo po siya sa straight line, may procedure po, sasabihin din sa'yo kung kailan ka mag-shift. So pag ginawa mo po ang double declining balance, shift to a straight line, marireflect po yung 2,000 sa table. Pero ito po, hindi na natin gagawin. Naulit ko po, should you wish to fully understand the double declining balance, shift to the straight line, nasa libro po siya sa Twesen. Wala po siya sa ibang libro. Doon ko lang siya nabasa sa libro ni Twesen. So we go to the last sum of the year's digits. Sulat ko lang po muna, no? Lagay ko lang muna yung table, tas the depreciation schedule. SYD. Sa undergrad ko po, hindi ko ito worded. Yan ang exam nila. Yung exam po nito, yung 5 table, 45 minutes. May magagaling dyan na estudyante. 30 minutes, wala pa. Nasubmit na ang papel. At majority ng estudyante, perfect ito. Pero meron pa din, masusurprise ka kung bakit meron pa din. 75 points po kasi ito eh. Yung 3 columns lang lahat ng may scores. Ang L nila ay 5. Ang binibigay ko sa a total of 75 points. Pero hindi po yan pwede magkopyahan. Kasi ang value ng C sub N mag-i-start sa 11,000, 12,000, 13,000. Kung 50 sila, matatapos yan mga kung 11, ang huling value ng C sub O ay 60,000. Ibig sabihin, kahit saan lumingon ng estudyante, magkakaiba ng sinasagutan, hindi siya makakakopya. Pero kaya magsusurprise ka, bakit meron pa din ang score 0? Ibig sabihin po, ang tingin napakadali. Hindi na nag-practice, tinignan na lang. Pagdating ng exam na mental block, yun na. Masilip kahit saan sumilip, kulang sagot. Kaya 0 ang score. Dali-dali, 0. Straight line nga, ang dali-dali, wala akong sasauluhin. 0 pa din. Ay, hindi mo maintindihan ng mga bata. So, ito na po tayo. Sa SYD, ang formula po nito ay D is reverse digit. So, kung N po ito, yan din ang N over SYD multiplied by C sub O minus C sub L. Ang big D sub N ay summation of the reverse digit up to time N over SYD C sub O minus C sub L. Ang C sub N, pareho din po ng iba, C sub O minus D sub N. So, para mo po magawa, ganito lang po yan. Isulat mo po ang digits. So, 4 na taon, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, ito yung sa digits, no? Years digits. 4 na taon, so you write 1, 2, 3, 4. So, ang SYD is simply a sum 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. This is given by the formula L plus 1 divided by 2. So, this is 10. Now, for each of the digits, you would write the reverse digit. So, you would have 4, 3, 2, 1. So, ito yung reverse digit. So, kung magko-compute ka po ng D1, yan ay 4 divided by 10, 10,000 minus 2,000. So, D2 is 3 over 10. So, yung difference ay 8,000. Yung D3 is 2 over 10 multiplied by 8,000. At ang D4 is 1 over 10 multiplied by 8,000. So, yun po ay 8,000 times 4 divided by 10. 3,2. So, alam ko, this is 3,2, this is 2,4, this is 1,6, and this is 800. So, ilalagay mo lang po siya, 3,2, 2,4, 1,6, 800. So, pag ibawas mo lang po lahat ng malaking D sa 10,000. So, ito po ay 3,000 din. 3,2 rin. So, ito ay 5,600. Nako, 5% na lang. 5,6. Busan ako ng battery. 5,6
plus 1,6, 7.
plus 1,6, 7,2. Tapos 8,000 po, no? Dapat ito 8,000. Dali, mali ito. Dapat 800 lang ito. So, ito po ay 2,000. Ito ay 28. Ito ay 44. At ito ay 68. So, yan na po ang SYD. Ang tanong, ano ang mangyayari kung halimbawa naka-worded ang problem, alangan namang i-table mo siya, no? So halimbawa po 20 years ang kino-consider mo, ang kailangan mo lang naman dito ay yung reverse digit at summation of reverse digit. So halimbawa po 20, so yung year mo halimbawa 1, 2, 3, 4. O that, no? 17, 18, 19, 20, no? Ganyan. Then the reverse digit, kung worded po ang problem nyo at may pinahahanap lang na specific year. So ito ay 20, 19, 18, 17. So ito ay 1, 2, 3, 4. No? Ganyan po. So halimbawa po, pinahahanap sa'yo yung D17. So kung lalabas po dito ay 4. Yung LL plus SYD po nito ay 20 multiplied by 21 divided by 2. Ang alam ko 2. 20 times 21 divided by 2 to 10, ano? So, kailangan mo po dyan 4 over 210. Tapos may multiplier ka na dyan. So, halimbawa po 100 yan or 60 years. No? Alam naman, isulat mo pa lahat. Tapos para lang hanapin. What you can do is to make use of the formula for the reverse digit. Bawa ito reverse digit at times 17. Dito po salitan niya natin 4. This is equivalent to L minus N plus 1. So kung 20 years po ito, minus
17.
17, yung N na hinahanap natin plus 1. So 20 minus 17 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So ito na rin po siya. Formula base. Kung hindi mo na siya ililinya-linya. Kunwari naman po, hinahanap natin ang summation of reverse digit. Halimbawa, hinahanap mo yung D16. So, ibig pong sabihin, hinahanap mo yung total, no? Kasi kung ito po siya kung kukunin mo po ang D nito kasi, halimbawa, D1 is 4 over 10 multiplied by 8,000. Ang D2 po kasi nito is 4 plus 3 over 10 multiplied by 8,000. Kung by computation, kung hindi ganyan. Ang D3 nito ay 4 plus 3 plus 2 over 10, 8,000. So D4 nito ay 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 over 10 multiplied by 8,000. So yung mga value na po ito rin yan. No? Pareho lang po yan. By formula yung isa. So kung hindi po yan ang gagawin mo kasi na sobrang haba nung ibibigay sa yung years, bawa 30 years, 50 years, alam nga namang isa-isahin mo pa. So gamitin na lang po ang formula. Kunwari po hinahanap natin D16. So hanapin mo yung summation of reverse digit up to 16. So ito po yung 16. Diba? Ito. So ibig sabihin, 210 ibawas mo to. 4, 3, 2, 1. So 200, tama ba? 7, 8, 9, 10. So 200 yan. Yung total na mula doon sa taas pababa. So kunin mo po siya sa formula. Yung formula ng ito kasi SYD, no? Tapos may multiplier ka. So ang summation of reverse digit is simply 2n minus L. Hindi, mali, baliktad. Lalaman naman natin kung tama. Kung magkamali ako. Summation of reverse digit up to n is n over 2, 2l minus n plus 1. Bukan po natin. Kung hinahanap natin yung summation of reverse digit up to times 16. So 16 divided by 2, 40 minus 16 plus 1. So 8 multiplied by 40 minus 16 plus 1. 25. So times 8, 200. So, ayan po siya. Pareho din.
Hmm.
Formula based. Kasunod po kayo.
Yes, ma'am.
Yan na po siya. So, kung magtuturo po kayo ng engineering economics, pwede nang gamitin yan. That is the easiest way of teaching depreciation para sa akin. Yan ang pinapa-exam ko. 45 minutes po yan. 5 problems. Ang binabago ko lang dyan, L is 5. So, ang value ng C sub O ko varies from student to student. Nag-i-start ako sa 11,000. So, ang tanong mo siguro, kung naka-alphabetize ang bata, then they can predict ano na yung value nila. So, pwede na silang mag-solve prior. Hindi po, kasi hindi nila alam kung saan ako mag-i-start magbigay ng number. So, halimbawa, naka-alphabetize ka, so you start with letter A. Kung minsan, gumagamit ako ng chalk. No? Nilalagay ko sa front, sa back, in the middle, bubunutin yon at doon ako mag-start. So, nobody would predict. No one may be able to predict as to which value of C sub O he would be calculating with as far as the depreciation schedule is concerned. Kaya po yung hindi nag-aral o hindi dyan nag-solve sa bahay, hindi yan pre-practice. Ang tingin kasi ang dali-dali, very basic, very elementary, ang score 0 pa rin. Alam mo na kung sino ang nag-aral at hindi. So, may tanong pa po ba? Kasi 3% na lang ang aking charge.
Ako po, ma'am. Okay.
Kasunod kayo?
Opo, ma'am.
Kasi sa totoo lang, meron akong PowerPoint ito eh. Ay, ayokong PowerPoint. Ganun din naman yun. Ito simple lang. Basta lang naintindihan mo yung konsepto. Dapat naintindihan mo anong sinasabi ng small d, anong sinasabi ng big D, anong sinasabi ng malaking C sub N. Pag naintindihan mo po siya, maintindihan mo na siya lahat. So kung hindi po kayo nag-screenshot, ito na, isahin na natin. Ayan po yung sinking fund. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we have next, declining balance. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for the screenshot. Next, double declining balance. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And lastly, we have the SYD, pinakamagulo.
Ma'am Helen, may question lang po ako, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Sige po.
Sorry po. Yung dito po sa number 5.
EV. Some books would call this the EMV. Magkakaiba po kasi ang libro. Meron din naman EV lang, merong EMV. Pareho lang po siya. Tapos yung parang second part niya will be the computation for ano ba siya, yung probability of A given B. Ano ang tawag doon? Conditional probabilities.
Okay, ma'am.
So,
Sige po.
Bayes theorem po, ma'am.
Bayes theorem. Opo, sige po.
Kayang-kaya mo naman yan, magtuturo ka naman ng P6.
Opo, ma'am. Sige po.
Okay. May tanong po ba? So,
Ako, yes, ma'am. Ma'am Helen, ako po. Yung
yes,
sa akin po, analysis of multiple projects, sabay na po kami ni Ma'am
sir.
Baby. Ano po?
So,
April 27, ano po?
Pwede
Apo,
naman
sige, ma'am.
ubusin yung 3 hours para matapos na po tayo. Tapos 27, kasi May,
Yes,
ano
po.
na yung kasunod, di ba? May mga 3, May 3. Para
Opo,
tapos
first week
tayo
ng May.
doon. So that the rest of the time from May 3 hanggang 22, which is the last day of classes, you'll be working on the problems na lang.
Sige po, ma'am.
Oo. So,
Opo,
may
ma'am.
tanong ba? O, mag-picture na po tayo. So, itsasara ko na po itong iPad. May 2 minutes pa naman to.